Hey guys, good to see you again. Yeah, I don't know what I should say. Thank you so much for your kind reactions to my pretty heavy video last week. Yeah, I really didn't expect that. I mean, to get that much feedback. I got also a really big amount of private messages and emails. Yeah, and I've never been so scared and insecure to make a video and to publish a video like this one last week. I spent honestly 2 full days and 2 full nights editing it and editing stuff out and re-editing it and editing it back in, and yeah. But now I'm so happy that I did it, that I dared to share my story with you. It was liberating. I feel really liberated now since I shared my story with you. And I wanted to thank you guys for all your sweet supportive comments and also for all the messages you sent me. I got so many emails and DMs. This feedback was kind of overwhelming to me in a positive sense, in a very positive sense. Thank you so much for your support and for watching this dark stuff and sharing this dark moment with me. Yeah, I really didn't expect that to get that much of a feedback. And because of all your great supportive feedback, I wanna dedicate the video today to a kind of Q&A. I want to answer all your questions, I want to react to some of your comments, and I want to share how I got through this, because that is what many people asked me in private messages, how I got through this. And I think it's important to share that for everyone who is coping with a similar situation right now. Yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. I still feel so overwhelmed by that. Oh, and by the way, something funny, look. I tried out a new hairstyle and I'm not really convinced. Yeah. Somehow it looks good in the camera, but I have to see how it will look later when I edit the video on the big screen. But yeah, I guess we have to roll with it because it is there. First of all, many of you were concerned about me, about my career. Thank you so much for that. You were concerned because I lost my very first acting job in LA in such a sad way. That was sad and a very bad experience, but that was only one acting job. And since that happened, I got the opportunity to be part of multiple really cool acting projects. Yeah, I'm so excited. One was a music video, and right now I am filming for a really cool comedy horror film. Yes, I will share more with you about that as soon as I can. Maybe then we can make a video about that, because I wanted to make a behind the scenes video about my first acting job at the Playhouse. But yeah, I don't have to say anything to that, why that didn't work out, but maybe we can have a behind the scenes about this great horror comedy movie with you. I have to talk to the director and producer. Maybe I can give you a nice behind the scenes vlog about that. Let's see. And I also got to perform in some really cool stand-up comedy shows. What's really cool for me, I met so many nice people there. Actually, 3 days after I published this video, I had a stand-up gig. And we had a really big audience and it was so much fun. And it was for me a good experience to see that nobody was seeing me differently. And some of the other comedians had seen it. One of the guys even wrote me an email, and yeah, I'm happy for that feedback too. And I got like my validation that it is right to share this stuff and that nobody will see you differently for that. Yeah. I got to perform in some cool stand-up shows. There are also some more gigs coming up. And I have an offer. I can share that. I think it's okay that I share that. I have an offer to perform on a heavy metal stand-up comedy show. Yes, and if I'm allowed, I will make a video about that and share that with you. So don't worry about me. My comedy and acting career is fine. And I'm very grateful and excited about the projects that I'm working on right now and about the stuff that is to come. Yeah. Concerning my stalker, concerning Frank, many of you guys suspected in the comment section and also in the emails I got that my stalker Frank has NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. I don't want to bash anyone here, and I don't want to diagnose anyone because I'm not a psychologist, but I want to talk to you about that because I also have the suspicion that he has NPD. Yeah, and there are some things that indicate this kind of personality disorder, that he's a narcissist. And that is, for example, this need to hurt other people. Because that's what all the victims told me. All the 5 victims that shared their story with me, including me, we all made this experience that he really has to hurt other people in order to feel good himself. Yeah, and that would be an indication for this disorder. Because narcissists can only feel happy and alive themselves when they make other people suffer. And actually, I got many emails from more victims of Frank. And they wrote exactly the same. That he tried to find the one thing that would hurt them most, and he did it. And another thing that makes me suspect that Frank has narcissistic personality disorder is this broken record strategy. That means that the narcissist repeats a certain thing over and over and over and over again until the victim is so like almost driven to insanity by that, or so like, you know, upset by that, that they give in just to have peace. And that's the way he made me get him the job at the theater, because he was asking and begging me over and over and over again, until I gave in and said, yes, okay, if it means so much to you, I will do it. And one of his other victims told me he wanted to force her or convince her to meet him. This happened via text message. And she wrote him, sorry, I cannot meet you because I have to work. I cannot meet you on such short notice. And then he really started to write her messages every 5 minutes. Can you meet me in an hour? Then, can you meet me in 55 minutes? Can you meet me in 50 minutes? Can you meet me in 45 minutes? And yeah, she got about 20 messages within 2 hours. Yeah. So yeah, that is also why I suspect that. I was kind of shocked how many more victims contacted me via email and told me their stories. But they all also got out of that, luckily. But I was kind of surprised how many people who are his victims too watched my video and felt the need to contact me. And I think that's good. That's one of the things I wanted with this video, to give each other support. Another thing that was brought to my attention via email, via people reaching out to me via email, is that Frank apparently scammed almost all of his former roommates for the deposit and for a lot of money. I got emails also from a lot of male, yeah, we could call them victims of money scam, who wrote me that they were Frank's roommate, or they had to pay a deposit upfront and they never got the room, or they never got the deposit back when they had to move out. And some of them, and I really understand you guys, wanted me to share Frank's real name in this video to protect other people from being scammed too. Because now we're not talking about sexual harassment or stalking or something like that. Now we're talking about scamming people for money. And I understand that, guys, that you're angry. And this should not have happened to you. I'm very sorry to hear that. But I still think I cannot share his real name here, because I don't want to start a witch hunt. And I also don't want to give him this airtime. Because narcissists want airtime. They want attention. And after that, after I say that, after this video, I don't want to give him any airtime ever again. So I cannot share his name. But I want to give you enough to recognize when you're dealing with this person who wants to scam you. So the room that he offers is a 1-bedroom with an own bathroom within a 2-bedroom apartment. And he wants to do it without a contract. He said to me, yeah, it's so much easier. I never do rental contracts because it's easier for both of us and you can always move out easily and it's very good for you. No, I can tell you guys, I know that it's hard to find a good place to live in LA. But no matter how desperate you are, it's a red flag. Never ever rent anything without a contract. And never ever pay anyone a deposit without a contract. I think that should help you to avoid being scammed by Frank or by someone else. Another thing that came up in some emails, you guys were asking me if my friend Allison is friend with my stalker. And that's very important because we met at this party. In this video and from November, I referred to her as the great girl. But yeah, of course, that is Allison. And Allison is a dear friend of mine. And you're gonna see her again very soon on this channel. And the situation with Allison and Frank is that Frank invited me and Allison both to his party in August. And he introduced us to each other. So yeah, everybody, no matter how bad the experience is, I believe has a positive purpose. In this case, introducing me and Allison to each other. The thing is that Frank told me that Alison is a really, really close friend of his and that they've been close friends for many years. And he also told Alison that I was a very close friend of his. And that's why I didn't dare to talk to her when it got so bad, because I wanted to be friends with her, but I thought, oh my God, no, she's a long-term friend of my stalker and I don't want to bring her in a bad situation when I tell her, yeah, this and this is happening. So it was a very good strategy of Frank to keep me silent and to not tell her. But then there was a situation in November when Alison invited me to a concert. And I really wanted to go there with her. But I knew that Frank would be there, and I was scared to go there. And Alison even asked me, are you coming as Frank's +1, or shall I put your name on the guest list too? And then I wanted to be honest with her, and so I told her that he is doing all these things to me and that I'm really scared to see him, and that's why I cannot come. And I said to her, I'm so sorry, I know that he's a very close friend of yours, and I don't want to bring you in a bad situation. I'm sorry, but I want to be honest with you. And then she was really confused and she said, no, you know, this party in August was the very first time I was hanging out with him ever. Yeah, yeah, that's how the situation is. Another thing that I want to talk to you about, because I didn't say it in the last video, because for me, I took it for granted, and I think it's important to say that very clear now. In my story, what happened to me, the victims were female, and the people who did it were male. But it can also be the other way around. There are also male victims out there. Male victims of stalking. I think that's what a lot of people have heard about already, that there are also a lot of male victims who get stalked. But there are also male victims of sexual harassment and sexual abuse and sexual assault. And I don't want to exclude you guys, you male victims, if you're watching this, because that's the same horrible situation you have to cope with, like we girls do. I don't know if I could say that, but I think I can. There was a case, I won't say in which city that was, but it was in Germany. And an actor who was a friend of mine had an experience with a female producer. We were both very young actors back then, because we were fresh on the market. We just had gotten out of drama school and were trying to start our careers. And this actor friend had one of his very first auditions. And there he was, I would say, sexually harassed by a female producer. The female producer was in her 50s and he was 25. And she basically said, if you have sex with me, you will get this really cool part. And she started touching him. And I was like, oh my God, what the f***, I'm so sorry. But this is also a reality, this is happening too. I don't know what you think, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think sometimes it might be even harder for male victims to speak up. I don't know, I know how hard it was for me as a female, but I think it might be even harder for male victims. Because, you know, nobody wrote that to me, luckily, but there are people out there who give you this really big BS. Like to girls, to female victims, they go to say, yeah, if you dress like this, you shouldn't complain. You shouldn't complain if you get groped or harassed sexually or even assaulted if you go to dress like this. Or in my case, I start in a web TV series where I was wearing a bikini. These people would probably say that to me. Nobody said that, but I can imagine that people would think it or say it to me. And recently I even had a Lyft driver, a female Lyft driver, and there was a beautiful girl in nice summer clothing crossing the road. And she said, yeah, if she dresses like this, she should not complain if she will get raped tonight. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, but that's why I want to address that. No matter how we dress, we can dress like this, I can dress like this, look. And nobody has the right to grab or touch or harass or stalk or assault any one of us, right? Good. You guys know that, but to everyone, I want to make that clear. Every one of us can dress the way we want, and nobody has the right to grab us, grope us, touch us against our will, stalk us, harass us, or assault us. So that is the BS that female victims sometimes get. But do you know what BS male victims get? And that also happened to my friend. If a male victim speaks up about sexual harassment or sexual abuse, often they get to hear, yeah, but you're a guy. You should be happy if a woman wants you, if a woman wants to have sex with you. Really? No, seriously? Yeah, that's why I really wanted to say that in this video, because I didn't want to exclude male victims. I just took it for granted that there are male victims. Maybe because I have so many male friends and some of them have experiences, especially with stalking themselves. I also wanted to make a little addition or correction to something I said in my last video, because one of you pointed that out to me in the comments. You know who you are. I said, don't trust strangers. I think I didn't put it very well. That was not really what I meant. I meant more, be careful and not too trusting. I mean, it would be a very sad world if we all would go outside and be scared of each other and don't look at each other and maybe run away screaming if someone asks us for directions. Actually, that happened to me yesterday. I didn't run away screaming. I mean, a guy asked me for directions yesterday evening. I mean, that's a good question of itself, if you should ask me for directions. But yeah, that one I knew. He was trying to find a certain hotel and I knew where it was and I showed him the way. I didn't mean it like this. I didn't mean you can 100% not trust strangers. What I meant was, don't trust them too fast. Don't be too trusting and too trustful too fast. Like, for example, what would be a good example? Get a stranger a job in your workplace. Not a good idea. Yeah, you see how that worked out for me. You can trust people to a certain degree, but let them earn your trust before you trust them too much. Good, that's clear now. And now I want to get to the most important part of this video. I want to talk to you about how I got through all of this, because I hope it will help some of you guys who are coping with something similar right now. If you find yourself in a situation where you are stalked, sexually harassed, maybe you even had to experience sexual assault, I think the first thing you should do, the first thing I did, is to get support. Get help, get the support you need. That can of course be your friends and family. Talk to your close friends, talk to family members. Talk about it to your dear ones. Don't keep it to yourself. And I know that can be hard, because I was thinking like, oh my God, if I tell my best friend, she's gonna cry. And then I will cry and then we're both gonna cry. And you know, sometimes you don't want to come at your dear ones with that because you don't want to hurt them. And I can fully understand that. So if you, for that reason, don't want to talk to your friends or family members at first, talk to the crisis hotline. I honestly called the crisis hotline quite a few times when I couldn't reach my friends. I talked immediately to my friends, but for me it was much harder to talk to my family members about it. But when I couldn't reach my friends or family members, I called the crisis hotline, because once there was a guy outside my window and I was really scared, and turned out it was a homeless man who just looked very similar to my stalker. But yeah, so call the crisis hotline. They are very helpful and they helped me a lot. Especially, you know, when it's the middle of the night and you can't sleep and you cannot really call any of your dear ones, then call the crisis hotline. They are open 24/7 and they were, to me, very, very helpful. Another really helpful thing are support groups. There are in-person support groups where you can go there. In most cities you can find them. For victims of stalking, sexual abuse, sexual violence, assault. You can find these groups, and you can also find them online. There are also online groups, because I think for some people, what I've heard, and also for me, sometimes it's easier when it's people that you don't know. It's easier to share it online because it's more anonymous, and you can also create a nice username so that you don't have to use your real name. I found a support group too. It was not a typical support group for stalking and sexual harassment. It was a support group for actors, a group of actors that are supporting each other in their careers and in a lot of things. And I found this group in November, and I'm so, so grateful for that. And the people I met from this group encouraged me to share my story there. They have a closed private Facebook group, and I shared my stalking story, like basically everything or almost everything I shared with you in the last video, I shared there in November, and I got so much amazing supportive feedback. And I wrote, my God, I don't know, I cannot quit because I don't want to bail on my castmates, but I'm really, really scared for my safety. And these wonderful girls and guys in this group helped me so much. Thank you so, so much. They helped me so much to make the decision and to be strong in my decision to quit this job, because nothing was done to protect me. And one really amazing, nice guy even took the time to call me and to explain to me how to get a restraining order. I think support groups are amazing. They are an amazing support. I guess that's why they're called support groups. No, but no kidding. I think support groups are really a valuable asset for you to have when you're coping with such a situation, because the people there will listen to you. They will not doubt that what you're telling is true. They will listen to you, they will believe you, and they will be able to understand you because they went through something similar. Another thing that I can really recommend when you find yourself in a bad place, be good to yourself. Do things that you love. That also helped me a lot. Really take time to be good to yourself. Show yourself some love. Get your favorite food. Listen to your favorite music. Take a nice bubble bath. Watch a beautiful movie, maybe comedy, something uplifting, maybe not a movie about stalking. Would not recommend that, but something uplifting, something that you like. Get together with friends. And I mean, if you have a stalker and you don't dare to go out, maybe one of your friends can pick you up, you know, or you can have friends come over to your place. There's always a way. Be good to yourself, show yourself some love, and surround you with people who uplift you. They don't even have to know what happened to you. I know for some people it might be easier to go out or hang out with people who don't even know what happened to them. That's also an option that you have. Or you can just hang out with your good friends, and I hope you have good friends. If you're new somewhere and you just moved somewhere and you don't know so many people, like me when I came here, I'm here now for half a year, and now I have some friends. But back then when the whole stalking crap went down, I didn't have that many close friends. Or I didn't know them that well. So if you feel alone because you don't have friends where you are right now, maybe you can find some nice people in the support groups. Some nice people with whom to grab a coffee sometime. And if you go out with people who went through the same thing, they will understand how you feel. That's also a big plus. And for me, it meant a lot to dare to go outside again. I went out, I went to the rainbow on my birthday, and I'm very proud that I dared to do that. But I knew also that I will be surrounded by friends, and that made me feel much safer. But yeah, try not to give that other person the power over your life and over your thoughts and over your happiness. I know it's scary and you're in a bad place, and I was so scared to go outside, and I felt so bad because I felt my freedom was taken away. But try to take your power and your freedom back. Take it back, little by little. I know that's easy to say that, and it's a process, and it's a fight sometimes, but you can do that. I managed to do it. Concerning what happened to me in Switzerland, the almost rape experience, because I got so many emails from you guys asking how to deal with that if something like that happened to you. And I know I cannot really fully speak about that because I got away, luckily, but I felt still that my privacy and my sense of safety was violated because I was touched in a very rude, violent way by someone and pushed on the ground. It was still very scary. Even so, this person couldn't fully go through with what he intended to do to me. I think if that happened to you, you should consider to get therapy. I think a therapist could really help. I mean, I talk to my friends, and I have friends who are very spiritual. I personally went to talk to my yogi, and I meditated a lot. You know, I mean, I meditate every day, but meditation is also something that helped me a lot, especially when I couldn't sleep. And I talked a lot to my yogi about that via Skype, and that helped me so, so much. And a very important thing I want to share with you today also concerning support groups. As I said in the beginning of this video, I got so much amazing supportive feedback from so many people. And there's also an actress from my actors group who wrote me an amazing email that really touched me. Her name is Danielle, and she's a very talented actress. And she founded a program that is called My Abuse Program. And she just launched it, and this program is designed to help people who had to go through different kinds of abuse. It is for people who had to deal with abuse and who have emotional injuries from that. This program is called My Abuse Program, and it is an online program that will be customized for each one who takes it. And it is designed to help you to deal with whatever you're dealing and to heal from it. And what I think is really cool, because the program is brand new, they have a free beta program. The first 150 people who sign up for it will get it for free. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I'll put the sign up link and the link to the website of my abuse program in the description of this video. So feel free to check it out. It might really help you. And again, I hope if you're dealing with something like that, that you get the help you need. I hope you have all the power and the strength you'll need and the support you'll need. And I wish you all the best. And to everyone else, thank you so much for your support. And I love you guys. And you know, guys, never stop dreaming!